right. Yeah. GM, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anytime it is you're watching us. My name is David. I'm super excited to be having us here again today. I want to say a special thank you for all of us who always time to join us into the live room on HiChat in-app while we make the most of this discussion. Today's the 29th day in the month of July, and I think it's such a great time. We've just been able to come by. This is the second time we are really having to time in for a live session, and when we essentially get to talk with us and do the exciting around the markets, because today it's been raining literally all, and I really was optimistic we'll find a wherewithal with sustainable and renewable energy we've been using. But apparently we have to go make the way with non-renewable energy. Where we are is a very interesting place, and I want to apologize, which is why I'm saying this for this delay. Hopefully tomorrow's not going to be like that, and I think that's purely it. Okay, all right. So it's been a whole lot of day. Maybe I would say it's a whole long day's been so long, and trust me, there is so much happening right now because of. And today we have to look at the market chart. We have to look at news. Today we have to look at several updates that are going on right in the market right now. Hello, Mary. He's having you. Yeah. So I am doing well. Thank you for asking. All right. If you haven't signed up on FameEX, I would love you to do. I'm gonna be dropping the referral link. This is the exchange we've now using. It's good to have your friends also to be in the know. We just have to get going with the. All right. So I hope that answers the question, and I would really love for us to engage us way more if you are on the FameEX internal chat app. It just on the platform BTC recently. I'm gonna be responding to the questions. And Justin, gonna probably pay attention to the cryptocurrency that will really bring profit for us today, as we're gonna probably be taking we'll be taking a futures trade again. Let's first drop the referral link to our new friends who currently are joining us, not on the HiChat's interactive streaming platform, but on YouTube. So I want to drop this link, and I think it's going to probably be of great help for everyone who cares, be a part of what we are doing in-house, right? I think that's important. And again, you can always do a great work by helping us drop this, right? Or share this with your friends. It's gonna probably be a good one. Yes, so let's do that right away. Just a moment. Yes. Yeah, of course, our referral link is BitChase. Exactly, I got it. If you've got questions, just join us on YouTube. You're wondering what are we doing here? What we do here is daily marketing. We share premium alpha, probably benefits you. Definitely. Yeah, there you go. All right, I've just dropped the link. Oh, I really missed out. Probably. So I think we need to tread carefully, because I think overnight Trump dropped a post. We'll look into that because it's the midpoint for the trade momentum of the week, and right now the market has that in zone of consolidation. Right, it peaked out at 74.6, and since point you can see market has not essentially is this market you know traded into the range which is apparently here. And since that time it refused to go above and beyond, right? Uh-huh. And so what? Of course, I can tell you for free, guys, that it's definitely gonna break above that range. And if it doesn't, I mean, it will eventually. I'm just gonna probably tell you that market that is such an optimistic one and such a pessimistic. It's more like an in-between market that calls for you to pay real attention. What exactly? Saying first up, let's start with what was the daily candle statement like for market closure today? Probably want that's I think that's important. This is how the daily candle looks like. Let's just make everything plain. The daily candle yesterday closed like almost a doji, which means there is almost a level of indecision that is apparent in the market. I mean, I want to also start from a point so we can relate it to get the market right. Okay. So right. So I think if that's the case, and this candle is currently giving this candle wick of a I think it calls for us to tread carefully and to be around interacting with market. And why is that? Candle is I for and uh, carefully um then that is likely likely. As a matter of fact, yeah, it could just remain as a doji, indecisive, not moving up, no moving down. Of there, I want to be so sure you all could hear me very well. Yeah, so that's important. You're well enough. I should come a bit closer so that all I'm gonna probably be comes off or comes out well. Right. Okay. So I'm trying to check sounds wanting perfect testing. I don't know if all of those are perfectly. Okay. Let's bring in manner of output. I don't know why this is the output it's bringing. Just wanted to check why that's the output it's currently bringing. Maybe it's a way I should have mic. Probably want to gain certain level of certitude on that, right? Probably help us enough. Okay. So okay. So um I think it's a bit better now. Fine. Yes, this candle was more of an indecisive candle, which implies that the buyers have their interests as well as the sellers. Don't forget, we're already in New York session, guys, and we literally trade New York session. It's because it's most active and volatile and most likely profitable um, session in the whole of the cryptocurrency market. Now, why is that very important? It's important because when it comes to um, um, when it comes to taking our place in the hourly trade for the day, we need to look into the previous day's market closed, because the previous day's market tells a very important story, which is it gives a clue into what tomorrow is likely going to be like. We get to know how tomorrow tends to play out by seeing how yesterday was. And if someone will say, I think, according to several school of thought, uh, uh, yesterday, a piece of today's storytelling for the future, which implies that, of course, yesterday is good, then it has a great fallback on carefully in at likelihood of today and a continuity for tomorrow. So we're saying that to say when we look at the previous day's candles and the previous week's candles, we get to say, okay, yeah. So last week candle for Solana, for instance, was indecisive green. The upper weeks was indecisive black, a selling candle, a bearish candle. So then we have this week's candle selling downward, which again to me now implies that whatever happened here is just a joke. And as a matter of fact, in a no distant time, Solana is going to find its way trading below $64 per token, possibly $62 per token, and likely sub $60 per token before the final retracement towards a newer price action. So now, if that's the case, hello Rowan, thank you for saying you trade futures. Anyway, you're trading futures, and all of us do. That's why we're here. So I look forward to taking a future. So what do I think the market is going to probably be doing for the week? I think we're going to eventually sell off, and I'm actually thinking in my mind, because that Saturday, which is the next 3 days, is going to be like the new monthly candle open. I'm just thinking Bitcoin wouldn't be opening at $60,000. I think Bitcoin is going to probably open at 63K or 64K. And so if that's the case, I'm thinking, what about Bitcoin is going to probably do about it selling, or Solana about it selling? I think between today tomorrow, the push up and then sell down should happen kind of today. And if that's the case, don't mind my thought process. If that's the case, then we're gonna probably sell off Ultra today into tomorrow. And then we're gonna probably use Friday to recover back into the point of the candle open for Saturday, which is going to be the monthly candle open. Meaning today, Wednesday, will initiate a sell off, be only after the market has taken a push, like ascending some in a couple of 2-3% upwards, then the market sells. How would that make sense, anyways? So yeah, I mean, this is just the way I could kind of explain what I'm trying to communicate to us all about how this whole week thing and trading this market for the course of this week is going to probably play out. Which again is not a financial advice and it's not a yardstick as to what we think the market is probably or likely going to do. Now let's come back to the 1 day's chart. Yesterday was decisive candle. I think it'll probably push us a little bit here like that. Kind of like a buy. If today's gonna probably buy and it did not initiate the sell, then tomorrow will be the sell off. And then Friday the recovery. Anyways, it all works. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. So what are you suspecting for the Asian market? I mean, for the New York market. Asia market and London market would have told us some stories. Let me plug in the a breakdown and look more into this market. Today is 29th, and you could tell Tokyo bought, London sold. All right, we literally had an engulfing candle, a bullish engulfing candle for Tokyo. And on the 1 hourly chart, I think we have way more clearer, something like that. This Tokyo, right? Up until when it was about 7 o'clock Nigeria time, that was when London literally did this. So you could tell that, fine, there is something like this. I'm probably, now, trading a range is a ridiculous Um, sorry. Yeah, trading range is not so good. Not good. But we're gonna probably look at the market and say what we think the market's gonna probably be doing. Just need to watch close. Two things happen. It's you know, to be honest with you all, I'm gonna be looking for the daily candle close. Where was yesterday's candle close? Yesterday's candle close at 72. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, fine. Or I look for the sessional low. Well, can Bitcoin drop all the way here and then still buy back up? I'm beginning to think maybe no. I don't want to believe so. So that's a liquidity point. I'm proud because I want to look for a sell to liquidity. I don't want the daily or on the hourly. So let's look at it on the where is the 4-hour low? Well, we have a 4-hour low right there, and I think that's the way great for us to place our bet around. I think this is likely not going to happen because if the market is going to probably buy, then this is going to probably be protected. After financial advice, all the same. Don't mind my thoughts. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm processing all of these, but I've just been looking at the market liquidity gameplay. So what I'm trying to explain to us is my analysis of the markets. I'm probably not going to consider taking a buy at all if I were going to take a buy until I see the market coming to take this. Why? Because, hey, if you remember when we turned on the sessional low, you'd see that this particular point marks Tokyo low. Now, I would really consider taking a buy once Tokyo low is taken, which will give me the reason why London Eye will be taken. So this is London Eye. London Eye is at about $74.3. And so if Tokyo low is taken at 72.63, which is me thinking of taking a buy at 72.55 thereabout, I'm going to probably use this point, which is the previous day's low as my protected low, to run the market to exactly this point, because I still think that's going to probably happen. Everything happening here is the market engineering liquidity. What does that mean? Market acting as though it wouldn't go above here, while there is a fair value gap right above it, which the market clearly at some point in no distant future will clear. So this is going to happen. Whatever is going to probably happen in between here before this push up happens, it's up to the market. Fine. So I think it's French that will say, "See, hope that is very clear enough for us." That's it. They might not be able to do so long a time in like, I mean, I hope I can go longer. Of course, I can, but it's currently time. But then I'm considering want to prepare very much interest. So I can also engage us because of live room. All right, guys. So, David, what is your analysis? My analysis is simple. Find me. Analysis explains that the Solana market is definitely on a downtrend for a longer time. This explains that the liquidity created right here is going to be grabbed very much before the market goes way below the sub 63, 65, and of course sub $60 low levels for Solana. I think the war really began changing the trajectory of the entire market, crypto inclusive. By the way, I'm going to probably check out for. Yeah, I'm going to check out some of these stocks. You might also want to tell me what your takes are on all of these. Yeah, not a financial advice, anyways. So let me quickly put the buy liquidity up there, right? So, yep. Okay. It's so good to talk about the market and look at it again, just the way it is, without trying to explain what the market is. So, I mean, you got my point right now, guys. I'm thinking of taking my buy at 72.5 for today. Probably be another buy today. I know happen just could take us out, but then that's the risky buy I want to probably take. Why? Because I think this is going to probably happen. So, but then I think the market seem to be resting here. So why is the market coming here? I mean, the reason is because there must be a switch, like a take off liquidity or a giving of liquidity, that kind of thing, you know. So if you go to, let's say, this time frame right now, I already explained to you guys that this is Tokyo low. So I could probably draw it like this, right? Tokyo. And a lot of you guys really watch from maybe Tokyo markets, Singapore, China. Is Tokyo low got to be taken. Asian market, I think that's what it's called, the Asian market. So yes, want to see Tokyo low take, and yeah, and it's gonna probably be agreeing or coinciding with about the support level of this range, which is still not a bad one. It's kind of a good one of a sort. But if you haven't, I mean, that's important. So, are you saying Donna's gonna probably drop like this? Yeah, I think it could. And this low could be taken. Yes, it could. And then the market could buy. Yeah, it could. Everything is a probability, my friends. Which is why our stop losses is our lifesaver. Yeah, so of course, so this is what I'm thinking, right? Just immediately below the Tokyo low, why just not accept? But then I'm thinking, so, and if it doesn't really buy back from that point, but hey, so you could see that on the 5 minute candle, we have a critical, bullish order block right there. That's the zone. That's what they call it. If the market ever buys from that point, then that's good. So the middle of this zone, let's kind of target it. That's a midline, 72.58. So the stop loss is there. A bad gameplay. Trust me. Like a 6 reward to risk ratio. Not bad. What do you think, guys? So let me look at the questions I've got here right now. So many questions, and I want to try to. I think I'm not really encourage you guys. Please let's just sort of help me so I can actually keep my line of thought answering questions. Let's help ourselves. That's a better word, so that every question is effectively attended to, right? So yeah, I mean there are several questions. Right? By the way, there's a referral link in the iChat app that affords you the benefit of having 388 USDT trial fund. It's fun one you could use to trade, and of course withdraw the profit to yourself. So it's in app, right, on the iChat in interactive social platform. So I mean, I think it's great for you to take advantage of that. I mean, I'll be stressing that over and over again, and I think it's important. Back to what I was talking about, very important, very, very important. So the questions I have here really state several things. Is anyone completely in a cash right now? Is everyone holding at least some positions? I think if you're gonna be saying everyone, you need to I mean that's not gonna get a direct answer. Myself, I think I have a position and I think I have a little cash. The truth is everyone is not to be over leveraged. If you put all your funds in, so you have leverage, I'm sorry, but that's a fact. You put your funds in cash, you're over liquid. You might not be over leveraged, but you're over liquid. So, because so positioning right for the opportunity the market could present. So, I mean, that answers the question. Um, to Rosane, right? So, I mean, not everyone should um, of a leverage over liquid. Proper. Hope you got that right. So the question keeps right to be different direction plus a couple of high beta narrative traders, leaders for liquidity sweeps. What about you guys? Drop the tickers you're watching to the bets. Okay, fine. How many retail traders believe BTC has more upside from here? I think has more potential for upsides after it's done clearing all liquidity that is in its downsides. Fine. So, I mean, I think it's time for us to position well. So, just you position well. I think you could. Right. I'm gonna probably set my limit order right now. It might not peak. And wrong. I'm not saying it's a must market dot. What I'm saying it's do. But then I think I'm just gonna probably place my bet on Tokyo Low. I think with that I'm very much safe, and I could make my trade. Right. I could actually watch this trade come here, $75 from 72.58. So okay, let's go do that. Right. Long to take. A long probably video. That's if the market respects how long, but then it might just not, and we're just gonna probably watching it go all the way back up. That's good. That's okay. There's no rush. I was about saying something or giving an update. What was the update? Trump says it says the the US military base bad were able to successfully incompletely kept every of the attacks were launched Islamic Republic of. I'm gonna check this. That's why we're here. Um, I think that's it. Oh, we have to read. Hey, check out for it. First off, let's go. One, let me just check. I'm looking at the price slippages. I'm gonna probably, of course, all of these trades I'm opening. X, yes, rising, top loss, profits like us. Gonna head to yeah, we're gonna head to place our trade. I don't know if you want to do that, but then I'm not sure. Now that am I giving you the all certainty, that's what the market's gonna probably do because it could actually buy from here. I'm telling you, it could buy from here. It's from the prepare for the sale because that's what we've always wanted, to do. All right. So since we are, excuse me, we're a bit cleared on that, in you guys to let me bring you to X. Let's check what it's like around the White House. That news around 1 a.m. thereabouts. It's interesting. It's interesting. We just get kind of know what is really going on right within the space, because all of those informations are critical for us to stay winning, stay ahead of every loop. Fresh that. Right. The truth. COVID.gov. Truth. stop. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that right now because I sometimes get so fascinated. Ah, fine. So we end dangerous from such. All right, that's great. Yeah. So you could see that Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, was at the DC Washington yesterday. So I mean, several ridiculous memes are going on, right? And I don't want to look into that, but then he was there, and of course, the discussions definitely must have circled around the ongoing tensions, geopolitical crisis in the Middle East. If you are trying to take sides in this war, I mean, I think that's not going to be like a great one. My thoughts, my subjective reasons, people are dying, and war is never a good option. That's it. Every human life is valuable to God, and it should be to you. Differences aside, so it's interesting that the same yesterday, which apparently, as you could see, it was the same clothing that Donald J. Trump wore, right? That the war right here. It was the same yesterday that he um met with the president of Ukraine, who always is not official, especially around the situation of the war. And right now, I don't think there's been any. Wait a minute. What about that? Right? I don't think there's been a time where Zelensky is being contested as the president of Ukraine. So let me ask, let me just do a simple search. How as Zelensky been in power? It's simple. Let me just check. So it's been in power since 2019, which is 7 years, and he was sworn in April 2019. So his wartime leadership became a central wartime figure from 2022, and so gonna be asked, um, yeah. So I mean, let me just leave it. I'm not gonna probably comment more. Leave things that way. And why are we going into all of this details? Skin, bro, let's talk about the market and news. This is the market and news. The politics, that affect real people, real time, real market, energy, commodities, you know, capital markets, cryptocurrencies, on-chain market involves understanding what are the backends in this. I was about checking that um what is duration of tenure. What is the term of the Ukrainian president? It is 5 years, the maximum of two terms. So, first is active until a new president office. Zelensky should have been done with his leadership or his reign for Ukraine, give or take 2023. But the reality of the war really occasions the, the stay. Now, this is it. US Saudi forces strike Iran back end terrorist site in Iraq. Okay, guys, I was my eyes on US oil because I thought it's gonna probably take a buy point from um lower point. Now it's been so ridiculously up. I mean, trust me. Yeah, trust me. Right, I was waiting for it to go to 71. Then, as anyone could see, it's been like up 3% right now because of the um US. I mean, got XTI USDT analysis, right? Just to keep things the way they are right now. I was looking at okay, so it got to 77 overnight, got up a barrel, and it's been up, bounced already. It's already broke out. I was waiting for that point where it's gonna probably touch 75. It stopped at 78 or 77, and that's where it is currently. Guys, I'm looking at oil back end. So just to give you a bit of updates, So I think oil is going to probably begin in more rounds in the next couple of days. So the daily time frame looks great now. It's flipped entirely, and I was waiting for it to come grab liquidity down there, but then it didn't. So if the daily candle closes bullish from this point, and tomorrow I'm going to probably take a long on oil. Trust me. Now, where I was going is to show you that the U.S. government reported. I mean, before I read this news, reported that um, they intercepted the missiles uh, that the Iranian government launched, allegedly. So let's see. So, all right. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna probably look out for that real quick. I saw the news. Wait, it wasn't that long. Okay, let me just drop a random. Um, guys, let's plop that news and of course check that right quick. Check. Iran confirms earlier strikes on U.S. bases in Jordan in response to American aggression. These aerospace forces targeted U.S. airbase and CENTCOM bows resistance. By the way, I'm just gonna tell you for free if you don't know. This war is not gonna end this year. I'm sorry, but it's sad because of the trajectory and the interests at stake. So much that might sound apocalyptic, but it's the truth. Okay, let me just leave all of those um my reasonings and just tell you that everything is already timed on this side of the world well to ensure that you know what life is beyond the transiency of life. Life is beyond what anyone can see. There's a life beyond time. True. I'm a believer of that. I'm a believer in Christ, Jesus. Don't mind me, but then I'm being honest with you, and I think it's a great opportunity for people to think of how much um, life they've got once they choose this Prince of Peace and this King of Life. Amen. Let's get back to what we're discussing, guys. Everything is really already changing. It's gonna affect everything. The way people feel, the way people are gonna probably live their lives in this next age that is now called Golden Age. So Trump tells Fox News the United States will respond with force after what he called a surprise Iranian missile attack on U.S. forces, and saying we're gonna beat this out of them, and warning Iran is going to get a beating. This is Fox News anyway. So breaking, the US and Saudi Arabia launched joint attacks tonight in western Iran after the rogue regime hanging onto their last breath had launched over 30 drones at US, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. So that's it what we now have. All the major news agencies have confirmed that, and I think you better understand what is really at stake here right now. So looking at this, right, article we're about to read, the U.S. Central Command and the Saudi Arabian Armed Forces conducted precision strikes in Iraq July 28 against Iran aligned terrorists that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC directed to attack U.S. forces and Saudi energy. Long story short is the unwarranted attacks against U.S. forces were not successful. And I don't know why it's called unwarranted, but then let's leave that. When a war analysts like the Jones, I think that's his name, Jones. But then, guys, from April 2026, there were more than 600 attempted attacks on U.S. citizens and facilities by Iran-aligned terrorist militias in Iraq. IRGC, which stands for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and its terrorist proxies must seize these attacks to avoid further U.S. military response. Anyways, Trump already spoke. It's game like an attack, which explains why oil has gone up by 3%. And I'm going to probably say this if you care to listen, that it's not going to get funny. It's going to get more messy, and it's probably going to make the market go skewed. There'll be very much more disproportion correlation in the market, and it's about time everyone begins to understand what trajectory the market is taking. Fine. Solana is currently at $73. It's currently traveling that path towards hitting 72.6 as our entry. I don't know if you've set that trade. If you've not, I mean, it's not going to be like the thing you should want to do. But then there's several news I think I want us to look into right now. Okay, we have several news to really catch up with. And I think I just want you all to be aligned with all of this news. The same for us. Wednesday, the Federal's fund rate, which is almost like we up about, the rate is going to be out to Wednesday, 29th of July. FOMC statement is going to be out also today. This is going to be like at about 6 p.m. UTC, 7 p.m. West Africa time. Check what time it is at your end, which essentially is missing the next hour and 50 minutes. There'll be a news that'll go ripple through the markets. Okay, what do we see from this? I don't know what's going to probably happen. Unemployment claim is going to probably happen tomorrow. So back to back today. This is the state of the market, and we can factor all of this into what likely going to be playing for the crypto market specifically, and of course other markets, say gold. I mean, I think I want us to look into gold so we can perhaps see if we could trade that today. So that's quite impressive. So there are several news on the pipeline. So volatility is going to be at its peak today. I want to beg you, don't be over leveraged in the market today. Don't be overconfident in the market today. And again, don't be what else again? Don't overtrade. If you have a stop loss hit, I'll say if we have a stop loss hit, that'll be it. That's it. We're done for the day. My guess is the market should sell into our buy point, and it should buy from about for about 2 hours, say from 4 p.m. UTC at about 5 p.m. West Africa time till about 7 p.m. And from 7 p.m. it should nuke. That's my guess. That's my expectation. Don't mind me. That might not be the case, but then we have to prepare for the worst and terrible days. Your stop loss is your best buddy in the case of a worse market scenario. This is the news that we have, right? What do y'all think? Let me check the live room to see what questions and concerns and, sharings and, perspectives people might be having around the market. One of the biggest highlights in today's markets, right? Tell biggest highlights are not just the charts and not just the news and not just the trades. Biggest highlights are the discussions we already began having, which has to do with the market pricings, the market news, and again, Fed's update on rate. So we want to know what's going to probably happen. FOMC, which, if you don't know what that stands for, is the Federal Reserve giving us a critical report of and updates and decisions about the interest rates, which is going to probably affect the purchasing power and the basic livelihood of the American citizens. Telling so much stories about the dollar, right? And by implication, getting us to see where other assets have their place. I don't know if you've thought about this. The BRICS alliance have literally been crippled since the assumption of presidency in the US. About that, and I don't know how long this whole resistance is, but again, I'm just saying that I don't think it's gonna probably be for. I'm just gonna probably tell you guys to be much more prepared. The dollar is itself gaining strength, boys. Look out for when I'm gonna probably buy this oil. Anyways, I don't miss out on anything. I'm gonna probably show you the charts. I'll probably find a way to enter this market. Yes, this market is ridiculously bullish, and the next 4 hour count is gonna give me an opportunity, I guess. So we probably use the 1 hourly chart to target, because I think oil is gonna probably push. It has pushed from $77, so it's currently now at 85. It's possible it rises to like 87. And then retraces shortly. So whichever way, let's be prepared for a new buy zone. for oil market, somewhere around 81. I'm probably going to look into that. Um, yeah, yeah. So let me give you all some news. I'm going to probably give us some news updates. Boys, it's scary to face this fact. You know what the fact is? That the stocks market generally in the US is going to suffer because of what is going on right. So if MRN is going to probably survive it at all, I don't think. Then I'm just trying to look. As part of this market isn't predicting direction, it's managing position size. A bad entry can be stopped out, but poor position sizing is. You're right, Justin. I again would say the best you can ever make is deciding the amount you want to use or you want to expose to the market and the risk associated to that. See, the truth is, a money not deployed is a money saved. I'm going to probably tell you once you're not 100% sure to a reasonable extent about a particular market, then there's no point deploying your funds into it. So, okay, hard talk, but true talk. This is the market news for today from CoinMarketCap. I'm going to probably read that out, short break, and of course, come back and we go into a deep dive. How we do that here. First on our list, we have our NFT's dead in 2026. What happened to the market? I mean, that's not going to probably be a big story. Everyone already knows that. I think they might not come back anymore, anytime, any day. $5,000 in Cardano added today. Here is what you could walk away with by 2027. An analyst's analysis. China just started making its own chip making machines, and this is ASML stock. Interesting. You wouldn't expect China to lead on all fronts. I think it's great, and I think it's way expected. Up next, strategy didn't cause Bitcoin's fall. Weak demand drags BTC lower, analyst says. You know who strategy is? That's Michael Saylor's micro strategy. Whatever the analyst is saying, they're right. Whatever the analyst isn't saying, they're also right. We're going to get into the details. Just stay around with us. I bet 11 best Solana casinos 2026. None of our business. I don't know if it's yours. I know a friend who lost $100,000. I mean, no, over 50. I think it's over $50,000. Something around the range. A huge 5-figure, close to 6-figure in USD. Trading casinos. I wouldn't expect and apply. I encourage anyone to do that. BNY Mellon's bold blockchain leap, reshaping fund operations. MoonPay launches a money vault that lets AI actually spend for you. I don't know if I want AI to spend for me. AI is going to use all of my salary and money and savings to buy credits and finish up all I have got in subscription. So why are people wanting that? I mean, I bet you want to know much more about these stories and what we've got once we go into the deep dive. And then finally, you have Fed rate decision. JP Morgan analyst says the Fed holding rate steady for today. We're going to probably check that out. And I hope you wouldn't want to be on a rush. Give you an heads up with TISA. That's what we've read and why we've read that. As it stands now, within this particular time, Bitcoin currently sits at $64,000 and $64,024. Ethereum on 1,890. BNB on $567 and XRP $1 as usual, stable. Solana is on $73.22. We'll be catching up on the market details soon. Stay tuned. Don't leave the screen. I'm gonna be right back, taking a short break. Thank you. Thank you. right, guys. Like we did said, we probably might not have a very long live sessions, and this is simply because of the reality what's upon us. I'm super excited that we'll be able to do so much in a very short time, which includes the news across the board. No, probably go a bit more, like I said, probably wrap. I mean, okay, let's read the news ahead of all. Starting with Fed rate likely remain. Of course, it's a high impact news, but then might suddenly send quick ripples through the market. Federal Reserve is expected to hold interest rate market rising chance of a surprise rate hike. The Federal Open Market, which is of FOMC, will release its policy decision at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. At about some time. Fed Chair Kelvin Warsh, by the way, there was a previous and emphatic several Fed chairs going to probably be speaking at that time, and JP Morgan expect a hawkish hold from the Fed. JP Morgan's market playbook assigns a 50% probability to a hawkish hold. I mean, if they are assigning a 50% probability, then I think they have to leave the 50% probably seek likely outcome of the event to chance. I was even thinking they could probably assign a 90% probability to a hawkish hold. Anyways, what you're saying, long story short, is they have 50% believe the market will remain without any raise or reduction in rates. All right, I don't think that's so much of a professional analysis. Something that going to a kind of clear heads up expecting 70% chance the market's likely to remain hawkish. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't kind of disclaimer. But financial advice, stay cautious with us. And that's what we have just read from the JP Morgan's market playbook. Under that outcome, it continues. It says the S&P 500 could trade roughly flat or fall as much as 0.5%. Bank also sees a dovish hold as a more positive outcome for stocks. Under that scenario, the S&P 500 could rise up to 1% if Warsh confidence that inflation is easy. Anyways, that's the summary of the news. Not so much of analysis, but then giving you a 50% chance of a likely steady or a hold in rate. MoonPay launches a money vault that let AI actually spend for you. Interesting story. I really want us to look at why these matters in cryptocurrency. But we guys, our limit buy still conveniently sits at the $2 for Solana. And of course, that explains how likely outcome. These are all likely, and we have explained that we're looking for shorten Solana at 75.82. So in the pipeline, trust that's gonna probably happen. Of course, probably. So this is the story of MoonPay. MoonPay has launched that let AI assistants like Claude and ChatGPT actually spend money on process without ever taking custody of that money themselves. Oh, that's the product called Paybox went live 29th this day and connects to Cloud or ChatGPT. Smart custom connector. Once set up, a user can type instructions in plain language. It's like buying a stablecoin, swapping tokens, making a reservation, and the AI prepares the transaction for the approve with the passkey. Oh, fine, that's not bad. So approvals must be done. Anyways, that's good. I hope you know what MoonPay is. Okay, this is Pay. I mean, I was even thinking they have a coin Paybox. So much. Okay. I think that's it. It's a minute. So, guys, what do we get? See here. Bold operation strategy. It costs. I think I want us to read this detail. Strategy cause fall. Analyst. Guys. Oh. wrap things up right now, guys. Apologies. Strategy didn't cause TC fall. Okay, many investors have the market error for. Why are you blaming the guy? For goodness sake, you bought it of saving you people for the length of time it would have taken for you all to have seen so much. Now you took some bit of profits, or it's sort of an. Anyways, this analyst is here to cut that crap, as they'll say it, by explaining for the sake of those who need the explanation that sailor is not the cause. Better just wind those excuses out and make up your mind. Long story short, you were the ones that were slow to take in profit, and he, kind of took profit, and then you're sort of blaming him. I must have been very much. Okay, that's what I'm just from what the analyst is trying to pass across. All the same, I mean, I think your money, your outcome, it's sort of that. Yeah, that's really. Anyways, story we have now right here. Strategy point for. You don't take advantage of buy, you cost it. Simple. So you better take advantage of the past, and don't wait for strategy to come tell you when to buy into the Bitcoin. All right. So I think China making its own cheap machine SML stock. I'm going to probably check out the stock. So a Chinese state-backed company has begun mass-producing domestically developed immersion deep ultraviolet DUVs lithography machines, a category of shipmaking equipment Dutch supplier ASML has dominated for decades. Selling ASML now as much as 8% on 27th of July. The sharpest single drop, and I think I'm going to tell you it's going to probably drop way more. I must tell you for a fact, like it or not, the US and the West, they've ripped China so much. Are you aware the best cars now are coming from China? I'm not going to talk so much. So, are you aware the semiconductor of have so much made in China realities that have been maxed and brought into the Western market? You better give China their flap as a fact. And then this is the reality. So, the caveat which matters for investors is that production starts small, roughly 5 machines 2026, and it's going to probably scale to 20 machines by 2027 against ASML's own guidance of approximately 130 immersion system shipped in 2026 alone, a 98.7% global market share. The analyst told CNBC the should be read with real caveats. The domestic tools reportedly lag ASML by roughly a generation on throughput, overlay accuracy, and long-term reliability, and still depend on Japanese suppliers for certain critical components. Of those are just word salad. The fact is, this competition has come to stay, and in a no distant time, everyone will come to realize how solid the Chinese are when it comes to making and deploying real fuel. Trust me, I kid you not, just worry. So if you in this question, as NFT is dead, I'm going to probably answer you with this article, and then we quickly look at the chat one last time, and then we call it a wrap. I think we're going to probably have a very interesting day today. We're going to have a long field day. I'm going to probably beg you to be very much careful. So if you're asking when NFT are dead, the answer is much smaller than they were, but not zero. Monthly NFT sales have fallen from over $1 billion to $200 million. That's it. Terrible drop, and I think it's going to probably drop way more. Only if they put up some meta, but then it's going to probably be another season of craze for people to begin to find identities in those FameEX and GIFs. I mean, that's what humans do for the most of time when they lost reality of what true identity is, right? So anyways, what you now can see is, according to the Mocha Brands co-founder Yatsu, speaking to CoinDesk in January 2026, NFT sales have dropped from over $1 billion a month at the 2021-2022 peak to around $300 million a month. That's roughly 70% decline. I don't know what you think is going to probably happen. A really crazy buyback? Maybe not. I mean, I remember about those times, 2022, I was doing several live streams, and I was so optimistic about NFTs. Why? Because there were hopes that NFTs could be used as passes for several events. Say you're going for a basketball game, to watch a football World Cup match, several things like that, using as passes for several stations and all of that. Using NFTs to pay for your trips and what have you. But then it turned out that wouldn't turn out that way. Long story short, NFTs are dying, and in a matter of time, they will no longer exist. Back to the chat, guys. Let's look at what the market is saying as we prepare to wrap things off. Where you? Oh boy, I mean, you're wondering where are you? You are on BTS showroom. Anywhere, any day, wherever it is you're watching from. This is the BTS showroom, and this is David. That's my name. To you from West Africa, Nigeria. We're excited to be doing this with you. I hold a couple of certificates and degrees as a financial analyst. That's just my thing. So I love analysis. I've led it in Lagos, Nigeria, as a senior trader on a trading floor, actual trading floor where we trade the London Metal Exchange, the LME markets, trading zinc, lead, aluminium, copper, and several other important commodities. Right, several millions of dollars. It's an opportunity to come talk about these things sometimes here, and I hope you all got that. Let me show you what the market looks like on Solana. Then we wrap things up. We're not going to take time. I mean, this we're going to probably be off. Or one. Long story short, as you can see, the market's likely finding its way right here. If you've not positioned, I think now it's time to position. We're going to probably run this thing to $75. And at that point, we're taking a sell at that point. I'm not going to say much than I've said. I hope you all are positioned right now. This is just like 1 hour live stream. But then, I mean, you've got to bear with me today. Tomorrow's probably be better and probably let you know. But then, it's been a great time. After all, we had the session all the same. Thank you. I mean, I appreciate you so much for having you been here with me. So we're still expecting the market to come right here. So please don't lose out on all of these. I don't know if you've joined our community, right? Join our community here on HiChat, and of course, every of our communities, every other places where we have our communities. I'm telling you for free. I think that's gonna probably help. Probably give a order, buy at all of that. Check out for that on our Telegram group. Then our preset entry is at 72.6. Top loss 72.3. Take profit 75. It's simple. So please stay safe, keep winning. To the next, I'm having you. All right, guys, the war is still on. Sadly, stay safe. I'm gonna tell you that for free. No over leverage. The next BTC probably gonna flush out several Pama bears. But then the market is still gonna probably go very down before going finally Pama bull. Pama bull. What do that mean? What do I mean? I am bullish, and even if the market drops a little bit, say 20%, it's very much. Oh. Use FameEX. Keep saying that. Sign up and trade today. You're not gonna regret. Best of my knowledge, that's the truth. So guys, do your own research, I must say, not a financial advice. Alright. Call it a wrap right now. See you tomorrow. See you later. Bye.